colleague students of the college, their family members, guests who have come here, as well as the faculty who are also present in this inaugural session of the Alumni Day, which is the number this year? 9. It's 9th Alumni Day. We don't know how we continued so many years. So now whoever is active in the world, whoever is live and still involved in the college, Anandalok I call it. So that's how Anandaloke, Mangala that's how we start the program. And it's the Christmas Day. Wish all of you, those not only belonging to that particular religion, but also those Bengalis, non-Bengalis and others in Kolkata who are really familiar with this thing as a Borodin. So Borodin to us is perhaps one of the significant days where we used to enjoy with our family members, Baba, Ma, Dadu, Dida, as well as our wife and children later stages. And we know how it's significant is this day. When I was coming, I saw Alipur Zoo totally flooded with people outside, inside, and I know even botanical garden nearby will be getting so. I wish we could have the similar kind of gathering out here. It's very significant occasion for us because it's the last Sunday of the year where we theoretically define that it is irrespective of the occasion, we'll have it here on the particular day. And for this, it's great appreciation to all those dignitaries who are present here, all those right from the beginning, and also the veterans who are passionately involved with this as if it's the Anandalok for them. Okay, so like Shantiniketan Posh Mela, we will have this kind of event every year at this location, and we promise, irrespective of the money, irrespective of involvement, we will go on and have it either through donations or through appreciation. That is also very significant. Don't forget that we will have a cultural evening also at the end of the program. Now, we are starting the inaugural program right now, where we invite our famous Shamada, who belongs to the Alumni Day as a convener, and he is significantly involved in organizing this Alumni Day right from the beginning. So the others who are present on the dais also includes Srimati Anjana Ganguly Roy, who is the president of GAABESU, he is a 1977 ETC. We also have Mr. Dhiraj Chando here.
Yeah.
Yes, Dhiraj Chando, who is a 1956 civil, it's also a veteran. We also have Arun Kumar Dev, it's 1957 civil. And are we missing? Amitabh Ghoshal is also there. He's a very, one of the founder members like Amitabh Ghoshal and Arun Kumar Dev, we cannot miss out in any of the programs. So irrespective of your physical ability to come, apni bole deben, we will come and ensure that you are present here. Don't worry. Okay. So this is what, and we now have others like our famous Shitangshu Kumar. Shitangshu Kumar Ghosh is my batchmate, 1980, but irrespective of my batchmate, he has gone beyond to so many levels, politically and otherwise, that I am really appreciative when he organizes such a program. When he was working with the tramways, he used to get us all over the country, in fact, through the Ganges. That is also a significant program. So let me begin this by having the inaugural program. Shamada, please. Shamada, please, if you come in, then you can have to welcome. Oh, Subhashish Momik is our host out here. It's great that we have one of them. We are missing the others, but anyways, Subhashish, my name is also Subhashish, so I'll appreciate that he is also present here. And he is one of the dean of the planning and development of this institute.
Good morning, my dear alumni friends, my dadas, my brothers, sisters, and their family members. We welcome you all in this Alumni Day 2022. I must clarify a little bit. Actually, Subhash is what he mentioned, that actually we are, this is the 9th Alumni Day. Why this is Alumni Day? You see, we are having our reunion for quite a long time. We all know about reunion, Subsequently, it turned to Rebecca. At one point of time, it happened that actually we were not knowing the exact time when this reunion can be there in the campus. And our friends from different places, they used to attend this program. At that stage, it was proposed, let us have the last Sunday of the year as Alumni Day. And someone has to organize. And GAABESU, and it was decided that's the Alumni Day for all alumni, but it will be organized by GAABESU. Since then, in 2014, we are organizing Alumni Day. I am happy that many of our alumni has responded. Of course, a little late. We want to have a very brief inaugural part. We will discuss many things in the business meeting, and one point I want to make clear: this Alumni Day, we want to have very constructive suggestion with which we can go forward. With this, I'll not say much, and in the business meeting we will discuss further. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Shamada, for being brief. Let me now have our Anjana Di. Anjana belongs to this particular location in a very significant way, emotionally as well as scientifically, and I think her intention, despite being out of the city, to have this Alumni Day organized in a bigger manner is very significant. I'd request Anjana Di to request our students out here to pass about the flower bouquets to the significant guests. We are having only 4 out of them, rest we are all host. Okay, so Dhiraj Da, you'll have it first. So please come over please. Followed by the batchmates Sri Arun Kumar Dev and Sri Amitabh Ghoshal. And finally, our host out here, Sri Shubhashish. He belongs to IIST. And now we request Anjana to come over.
Respected convener of today's program, Shamada, my respected seniors and junior alumni of my alma mater, respected deans and HODs from IIST, whoever is present here, on behalf of the executive committee and the entire members of GAABESU, it is my pleasure to welcome you all on 9th Global Alumni Day today, the 25th day of December 2022. After 2 years of holding Global Alumni Day in virtual mode, we are excited to have this year this program in the campus of our beloved alma mater. GAABESU has completed 16 years of its journey since its inception on June 10, 2005. The association exists wholly and solely to help our current students, alumni, and by extension, the institute itself to succeed. Our alumni have played a significant role in upholding the legacy and branding of the institute in the technology forum over the decades on a global scale. We hope to build a community to help better utilize our skill set, to stay on top of the latest trends, keep a pulse on job market, meet prospective mentors, partners, and clients, and gain access to necessary resources that will foster career development. A young member will use the collective expertise of the alums for advice and personal growth. Together, we turn GAABESU into a place where we can share ideas, discuss opportunities, and create network to manifest our full potentials. We are what we are because many of you have partnered with IIEST to make it happen. You come back to campus to interact with the students and faculty. You volunteer your time and your talent. You provide internship, jobs, and career advice to current IIEST students. And you place IIEST as a high priority in your charitable investments. We are proud to celebrate the achievements of our students through scholarships and fellowship awards. We are dedicated to further globalizing our mission through a systematic and sustained engagement between IIEST community and the world at large. Each year, as we welcome new students to IIEST, we are reminded of the great legacy left behind our wonderful alumni. GAABESU will continue its mission to raise public awareness of the IIEST Alumni Association, to grow its partnership base, to assist with development of fundraising opportunities, and to promote exciting activities and events. Joining the Alumni Association encourages continued success for our students and support for the college. We want to reach out and connect with you no matter where you may be. Please continue to visit us on the website and Facebook for information on future alumni activities. On behalf of alums of IIEST Shibpur, I would like to assure Institute Authority of any possible support our beloved alma mater may need, be it improvement of ranking in national and international level, academic infrastructure development, image building as a research-intensive institute, giving a better living condition to students et al., and expecting the same level of cooperation from the Institute in our endeavor to work for the betterment of our alma mater. We are currently working on parallel initiatives with the aim of improvement of NIRF ranking of our alma mater. Again, Institute support is the prime importance for those initiatives. A group of alumni recently met the Chairman of Board of Governors, Dr. V.K. Atre, to discuss the decentralization of administrative processes of IIEST, GAABESU to IIEST conversion gaps, academic and other infrastructures, proper maintenance of existing infrastructures, funding and their utilization plan, faculty recruitment and filling up of key administrative positions, lack of fellowship nominations and other related matters. Closing comments from Chairman Dr. V.K. Atre include a joint committee, Institute and GAABESU, to come up with projects for which Institute require alumni help. Emphasize on having alumni representatives in BOG, Board of Governors. More Institute GAABESU collaboration for future development of Institute, thus raising national and global ranking. Advising Institute to develop effective coordination with GAABESU for accelerating fund mobilization and utilizing expertise of alumni in planning and mentoring activities. Institute facilitating Global Alumni Day and other similar activities in the campus. The road that lies ahead won't be easy, but we are not alone. We are all in this journey together and we will succeed. Together we engage ourselves, cherishing our eternal bond with our alumni and alma mater. Thank you and stay safe. Enjoy today's program.
For raising very significant points where we need a more integrated approach with GAABESU as well as the IIEST to take this forward. You mentioned about what a significant meeting you had with one of the Union Minister's office, and perhaps this is the right moment for us to really think in the business meet about how to take this forward so that we stand a further step ahead in the engineering circle and technological inputs to the government, where we focus more on job inputs as well as research for our present as well as the future students. Let me take the views of Sri Arun Kumar Dev, who is a 1957 civil, on this aspect perhaps in the business session, but now at least how we can have more involvement with the... Okay, so we have a veteran in our midst, Sri Dhiraj Chando. He is 1956 civil. He will be followed by the next year Sri Arun Kumar Dev and Amitabh Ghoshal. So, okay, no. We will have the views of Dhiraj Da on this aspect. The first three will be the ex-students of how they visualize our this institute to be so many years after, almost more than 60 years that they have passed out, nearly 60 years. So let's have their views before we take the view of the IIEST representative. Let's start with our veteran, Dhiraj Da.
My name is Dhiraj Chanda, graduated in 1956 civil. I am the senior most member here, present. I am very much proud that I graduated from this college. I want to see that it will grow further and it will make a renowned institute here. And for that purpose, whatever we can do, we shall do. We, along with Arun, my dearest friend, and Amitabh Ghoshal, we are one of the founder members. And we started that one in USA. I stayed there for 50 years. And I was one of the founder treasurer also. Since I have some other difficulties, I have to come over here, and now I have settled here. Now I want to cooperate with you and do something, whatever is possible, in order to benefit the institution. And I am so proud that I already told that I am so proud that I graduated from this college and done excellent job in USA. And I hope in future I can do something better for this institution. And I shall discuss with other people how to achieve that one. Okay? With that one, I welcome you all for this nice gathering, and please enjoy. And please tell everybody to join us so that we can have a very good gathering in future. Thank you very much.
Issues which might be addressed by our dadas and our veterans who are also part of the involved in the college as founders of this GAABESU. So let me have views of Arunda in this case, followed by Amitabh Ghoshal before we go to the vote of thanks and the presentation from IIST.
Good morning, my dear friends. And this is a beautiful morning today, and everybody is enjoying this sun and the weather, and I hope you'll enjoy the whole day with your family. Some of them brought the family. We have a lot of foods here. I am involved with this college since 1953. Therefore, it's a long time when I entered in this institution as a student. Then from 1958 to 1971, I was in the faculty. And therefore, there are many alumni here that are my students at that time. I have a special relationship with this institute because I spent so much of time with this institute. And after leaving the institute even, I spent a lot of time. When I come over here in Kolkata, I come into the institute almost every month and working with the Alumni and Global Alumni Association. Now, one thing we are hearing here, that lack of funds. Lack of funds, everybody. The meeting that our president mentioned, GAABESU president mentioned that we had a meeting with the Dr. Atre, the chairman of the board. He also mentioned about lack of funds. All the universities, higher learning institutes are getting the pinch of getting funds. It appears that central government as well as state government are cutting their budget on higher education. And everybody is saying, including Dr. Atre, that the alumni should come forward and contribute for the benefit of their alma mater. And our alma mater, previously BE College, now IIEST, our alumni strength would be about 20,000 or more that we have. And if we join together, all this together, then we can help our institute very much. One idea that I am proposing few years now, that is improvement of hostels, student hostels. And those who lived in a particular hostel, and if we could join together, that we are going to adopt that particular hostel to renovate that hostel to a modern hostel facility. And I would appreciate very much that if you just come up with the people, the students or alumni who lived in that particular hostel. As for example, I lived in Richardson Hostel. At that time, it was a new hostel for 3 years, second year, third year, and fourth year. And therefore, Richardson Hostel is in my heart. And what we could do is we can get together all the Richardson Hostel students and put together money together and could renovate that particular hostel. Similarly, other hostels we could do it. This is one of my idea that I would like to put forward to you. You should consider that so that we can at least we develop a good living condition for the students of this great institution. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have another speaker also very significantly involved with GAABESU. So, Amitabh Buddha, please.
Well, I am Amitabh Ghoshal. I have incidentally been the first president of GAABESU, and GAABESU was formed by combination of efforts. I was very glad to see our first secretary also present here, and Dr. Dev has also been the ex-president. But for me, coming to the college is coming to a pilgrimage or coming back home. It's very difficult to talk about business aspects while we come to this institution, this campus. It had been such a part of our life. In fact, while I was coming, my wife was blaming me that BE College seems to have more attraction than my children and grandchildren who have come for holiday and they are going back today. But I said, okay, this is important for me because I have not missed any alumni meet and I cannot afford to meet that. My earlier speakers have mentioned how we can help the college. Well, to us it is still BE College, unfortunately. IIEST has not sunk in our heart, even though when I come, we feel we have come to BE College. Now, what ex-students can do, Dr. Dev has defined, Mr. Dhiraj Da also mentioned, and I'm sure in the business meet we'll discuss it very deeply. What I had felt throughout my presence, and I had stayed in Kolkata all this time, I had never settled abroad. The intimate relationship with the college by ex-students can definitely help. Money help, of course, but those who had specialization can certainly come and help the students and the faculty with their technical expertise and also with administrative matters. You see, for getting funds from abroad, we require certain clearances from the central government, which was very difficult to obtain. And I used to visit to Delhi quite often and tried to help, tried to contribute my relationships with other ex-students, and with the help of that, could help in getting that permission for remission of ex-students. Like that, if each of us try to do whatever we can, even that can be very, very significant. The expertise that collectively these 20,000 plus ex-students have got can certainly help the present students and the faculty equally. It is more important to help the faculty so that they can impart the better awareness amongst the students. We can understand students do not feel so attached to very old alumni like us, but certainly if we come forward with support, they will have better understanding about our intentions. I shall look forward to gather information and guidance from the business meet, which we look forward to all the other alumni and the present students to come forward and share their feelings. Let us try to work together and make whatever we can do for our alma mater. Thank you very much.
We have almost come to the close, but it require a very significant presentation from Sri Shubhashish Bhumik, who is the Dean Planning and Development of the Institute IIEST, which has been formed beyond what we had BE College, but it's a very significant institution now in the global calendar and global profile also. So let me hear to him and how he is going to plan for the future of the engineers emanating from this place.
All the dignitaries and members of GAABESU, a very good morning and happy Christmas to all of you. I, on behalf of the Institute and on my personal behalf, welcome you all, your family members, in the 9th Global Alumni Day 2022, which is a celebration by the Global Alumni Association of this institute, which is really a homecoming for the alumni with their family members. You all must be feeling nostalgic about this adobe of institutions, educational institute, where you spent your significant time of your life. I sincerely acknowledge your contribution for the development of the society, and thank you all for justifying the years spent by you at this institution. We are all proud of you for every value you stand for. I feel deeply honored standing here, as well as very privileged to welcome you all here. Due to on leave, our Honorable Director, Professor Parthasarathi Chakraborty, could not be present in today's program. We went through a global crisis for more than 2 years, and now we are back to normalcy. I hope all of you are fine. This Alumni Association, that is GAABESU, it was formed in the year 2005 to show affection and attachment of its members to this second oldest engineering institute in India, as well as to support and promote all interest in all possible ways for the betterment of the students of this institute. Institute needs strong active support of its alumni for its development. Institute celebrated 100th and 150 years of its existence with the strong support of its alumni. Our alumni are the long-term trusted advisor for this institute. GAABESU is promoting excellence, recognizing and celebrating achievements of the students, faculty members, staff members, alumni and their families. The best of the global should be reflected locally in this institute. Many of our alumni are in the foreign universities and they are extending all their support to our faculty members, to our research scholars for their development. For the last couple of years, alumni, they are extending all kind of support to this institute for the scholarship programs, land project, VLSI lab development, state-of-the-art seminar room development, Young Faculty Research Award, second gate renovations, emergency medical service, medical funding, swimming pool renovation, Students Innovation Center, Research Excellency Awards, and have initiated, all these have been initiated by GAABESU. The Alumni Fund has been benefiting our students year after year. I request all of you to identify strategic projects and take the necessary initiatives which will not otherwise be funded by the government agencies. I also request alumni to take the responsibility to mentor the students for their professionals development. Improvement of the hostel conditions, mainly the kitchen modernizations, water and sanitations related improvements. These all deserves the attentions of the alumni. I sincerely request all of you to come forward to help and support your alma mater and extend your utmost cooperation. We all have to work together to elevate the academic excellence of this institute and attain the benchmark success. You are the building blocks of this institute, and we seek your blessings and prayer. I am optimistic that we can resolve many issues collectively. I hope all of us will enjoy today's events, and I wish the program a grand success. This is your institute, and it will remain your institute in future also. We will wait for another 365 days to meet with you again in 2023. Let us commit to expand, care to understand, and converge to grow. Have a good time ahead. Thank you.
You see, actually, normally you must have seen in all our alumni day meets, our director of the institute used to be present here, excepting in one occasion. You see, actually this time in August this year, myself, on behalf of the organizing committee, of this Alumni Day. Myself and Secretary GAABESU, Shitangshu, we went to the director, met him, and since he is a busy person, we requested him to keep it in the calendar in his program. Anyway, today, director could not come. He is away on leave, and the professor who was in charge, he is also in leave. We are very much thankful for Professor Subhashik Bhaumik, who is in charge for the present, for coming over here and for his very, very encouraging words.
Thank you, Mr. Shyamala, to really identify the aspects the way we have to integrate ourselves more with the Institute. And we have Shitangshu, who is a very active member of GAABESU. He has done a lot of work for the last 2 years that he has, almost more than 2 years in fact. So let's have vote of thanks for him, but it's not really the vote of thanks which matters. I think the audience deserves to really applaud him for the kind of profile that he maintains and the kind of events that he ensures to the betterment of this institute. Right.
As a Secretary, Global Alumni Association of B College, Science University, though it is now IIEST, I would like to thank our seniors, Dhiraj Chandra, Arun Dev, Amitabh Ghoshal, they have come, even some of them have come from abroad just to attend this Global Alumni Day. I also thankful to Subhashik Bhaumik, Dean Alumni Affairs, who has rightly pointed out that our alumni helped a lot and tried to do certain things for our great institute. I am really happy he has acknowledged what GAABESU has done, what our alumni has done for this college. I also thankful to GAABESU USA Foundation for their sponsorship, GPT, International Combustion, ITD Cementation, CESC, Ashoka Buildcon for their sponsorship for different events today. You know, without monetary help, we can't do anything. During last meeting with our BOG chairman, Dr. Atre requested us, our alumni, about the funding. He also hinted certain portion, particularly in corporate social sector, social responsibility scheme is there, CSR fund. If any of our alumni who are working in a corporate sector, they can help institute, which is the 2% of their, I think, their turnover. They have to spend for Corporate Social Responsibility Fund. If any of our alumni can help this institute by that fund. I would also like to mention here, though Subhashik Bhaumik has told us a lot of things, but recent days, some sort of trust and mistrust between the college authority and GAABESU is existing. It is unfortunate, but I can tell you one thing, if college does any good things, we are ready to help him. But if anything detrimental to the college, all the students, all the alumni, all the faculty, we GAABESU raise that issue and will protest that much. I know a lot of people has told me in the college, when there is an existing GAABESU, why alumni cell? But director informed us, alumni cell is required as per MHRD requirement. So he has requested us to help us alumni cell. GAABESU member can include in the alumni cell. But one thing I can tell you, alumni cell is fully guided by the Dean Alumni Affairs and the college director. But GAABESU has the liberty, if anything not right for this institute, we being a GAABESU member will definitely protest it and will safeguard the interest of all. I also thankful to all the senior alumni, those who have come today. It is really our homecoming. I am thankful to the entire executive committee. I am thankful to my office staff. I am thankful to all the members, those who will participate in our literary program afterwards. So I am giving them the advance thanks. I hope all you will enjoy and have a look towards our campus. And after 2 years, pandemic, last we have done it. Last 2 years we are unable to do it in a physical mode, but this year we have done it in a physical mode, and I hope all you will enjoy. And thank you everybody for your coming. Thank you all.
Okay, without a break, we are starting the business meet straight away, and we'll request Anjunadi to really have a preamble to this. I know some of you have missed the tea or coffee, whatever it is. You can carry it straight forward here, because it's going to be a very significant meet for this particular occasion, especially when we are meeting after 2 years, and a lot of things have changed in between. So Anjunadi, if you can start it before we take over others. Okay. Others, all of you going to stay? The meet, we are giving significant thanks to all the people who have really taken time out to be present here, and we will invite some of you to come over once again to the dais. It's no point wasting time, please, because now we are going to have interactive sessions as well, so we will request a part of the audience as well as the students to come over and speak in some point of time.
Thank you, Shubhashish. I would now like to open our business meet today. We haven't really kept it open-ended. We have a topic for business meet today, which is repositioning of IIEST as a research institute. Some of you must be knowing we have had a panel discussion yesterday evening from 7 to 9 p.m. where some of our distinguished alumni were present there, like Professor Amitabh Ghosh, Amitabh Bhattacharya, Professor Indranil Manna, and few others. And we actually discussed this topic yesterday during our panel discussion, and Professor Tathagata Rai, who was moderating that session. And again, I would request Shama Prasad Dotto, Shamada, to just talk about yesterday's yield from that panel discussion, and we will actually start from the audience, whoever is interested to speak on that. But just one boundary or caution, we would not start, demeaning our institute, not any personnel, not the faculty, not the deans, not the director. We would do some constructive discussion and suggestions should be constructive. Thank you. Shamada, please.
Actually, we, the alumni of our beloved institute, we meet at different places. We have clubs, we have chapters, we have associations at various places all over the globe. And also we meet batch-wise also quite frequently. Those are mainly social get-togethers. But this alumni day has a different purpose. Actually, we are actually, and for which GAABESU was also formed. You see, we have to think positively what we can do for our institute, we can do for our students. And also, actually, it is correct that everything is not in proper shape. Yes, there may be such situations, but let us take those things as granted, and how we can improve further. That is our objective. And Anjana has already mentioned that what will be the focus discussion in the business week today. You see, actually, our alumni day. This alumni day started with a panel discussion yesterday evening. It was an excellent panel discussion, and there are very distinguished panelists. I will just briefly, actually, we will try to upload the entire discussion separately. It will take little time, but I will briefly mention a few points which came out during the panel discussion. The panel discussion was moderated by one of our distinguished alumnus. He was a bright student of our institute, he was a bright engineer, and he also became the governor of Tripura and later in Meghalaya, and was for certain period he was in additional charge of other states as governor. He was, as engineer, he was a very successful engineer. We all know him. Professor Tathagata Rai, he was moderated in the panel discussion. Actually, his main point was there has to have more interaction between the academics and engineers in the field. Since actually what should be the future of the engineering, that he was the main focus. And he mentioned about the bright days of BA College, and definitely at that time there were very few institutes, and he wants that our beloved institute will be in that position again. Professor Amitabh Ghosh started the panel discussion. He very lucidly explained how things are, what we in the academic field and we as engineers, what we need to know, how things came forward. He gave the very detailed he explained in very great detail the genesis and also how IIST came up. He is the only surviving member of the Ananda Krishnan committee, the framers of the IIST system in India. And he expresses cause of his concern about a little bit down-trained and of our institute in respect of ranking. Yes, it was also discussed. There may be a lot of questions about the system of ranking. But anyway, actually, one system is followed for all. But why there should be downward? But another thing was also mentioned. That you see, where there's a difference, some fraction of a number also makes a lot of difference. And also, he mentioned what should be the future. What should be the future of the engineering? And that is why there has to have constant updation of the academic system and also of syllabi. And then we had another person, he was also an alumnus of our institute, very bright alumnus, Amitabh Bhattacharya. Amitabh, he passed out in 1971. He after initial period in a consulting organization, he joined Indian Administrative Service and worked in various places. He was in charge of technical education for quite a long time, and at the retirement stage, he was in the rank of the Secretary Government of India, and he was holding the responsibility of Principal Advisor, Education and Culture in Planning Commission. Amitabh actually, he mentioned about certain things. He mentioned about the funding of the institution. You see, now the government policy is to stress more on primary education. Higher education, yes, definitely there is a necessity, there is an importance of higher education, but that should be self-financed as far as possible, and government funding will come down. Well, actually, he also mentioned how we can tap different sources for funding. But definitely, he also very clearly, actually, this certain responsibility is given, but that cannot, any responsibility cannot go in isolation. You see, someone has to be, one who is given the responsibility, he has to be given autonomy, he has to take his own decision. That freedom has to be given. If the rule-making and all the decision-making authority is left with a person, or an organization, or in a system, and someone is given the responsibility of funding, it can never work. He also mentioned about National Research Foundation for getting fund for research, and very clearly mentioned about autonomy and freedom of the institution in particular. He also mentioned another point, use of local language to the extent possible. But he mentioned that that English should not be ignored. But he also mentioned that in a worldwide study, it has been seen in Russia, China, and those places, Japan, they are doing better as their medium of teaching is in their own language. But definitely, we cannot have a sudden change. There has to have a gradual progress, step by step. And he also mentioned about the futuristic orientation. You see, everything is changing. We must look for the future, that is. And yes, another study he mentioned that Indian students lack in higher level of thinking. You see, actually, it's definitely, this point also he mentioned, that Indian students are in different places in the world. They have the excellent contributions, but they have little lacking compared in general. But another thing, this is actually, since we have a very young manpower, average age is 30, that should be utilized more gainfully. And you see, actually, he also mentioned a position of professor of practice and to bring in research culture in the organization. And for all this, there has to be a system where all can work together. If someone must not feel that this is your responsibility to do it, I will finally decide. That cannot happen. He wants that, as per the short-term goal, our institute should be brought among 10 top institutes in the country. And the medium term would be, he also suggested, now it is IIST. He also suggested, since the IIST system was thought about, now our institute is the only IIST. Now, whether there will be another IIST or not, sure. If that be the case, that our institute stay in isolation, there should be a goal to convert into IIT Shibpur. He also gave instances that there are more than one IIT in some of the states. Gautam Rai, our alumnus, 1981 batch, he is holding a very high position in the industry. He mentioned about customer-centric approach, and also what is the requirements of the society. That requirements, technological requirement, that should be dovetailed in the academic curriculum. He also mentioned about the industry has a huge requirement of R&D, and that the institute should tap that resources. Professor Indranil Manna, he is also an alumnus of our institute. Presently, he is Vice Chancellor, BIT Mesra. He mentioned about the shifting of priority. We have to identify where we have to prioritize. There are certain requirements, and unless we prioritize, we cannot go ahead step by step. He also mentioned the teacher-student ratio. That is, unfortunately, at present, this is pathetic all over the country. You see, actually, yesterday's discussion was not focused on IIST Shibpur in particular. It was an engineering education in the 21st century in general. He also mentioned that money is a problem, but still we'll have to go forward. And there are ways to go. And the other speaker was Shuman Chakraborty from IIT Kharagpur. He also mentioned he has a very, spending a lot of time in academic circle and doing very excellent work. His work has been recognized all over. He gave very, very important suggestions. And we have decided that we will, and there were some questions and there were some comments also, but we could not take those comments. We have decided that we will prepare a document, and definitely a team will work on it, and we will invite suggestions from others, and we'll after preparing a roadmap, we will try to take it forward. And now we will invite views from our alumni present here. We are very serious about noting down their points. As Anjana has clearly mentioned, we would look forward to constructive suggestions. Yes, there are problems, there are various issues, but how we can go forward. We as alumni, we also feel that things are not going in the proper shape. And to start this, I will not elaborate further. To start this, I would first invite Soumitra Banerjee, our alumnus, 1981 mechanical. Soumitra is presently holding charge of IISER, and so that is a great national level institute, and they are doing excellent work. And last year we got some opinion of views of Soumitra as a panelist. This year, since Soumitra has to leave, actually he's an alumnus of Narendrapur Ramakrishna Mission. They are waiting For him, actually, he has to be there as quickly as possible. That is why I request Soumitra for his, we are very keen to listen from you. Soumitra, please.
Friends, let me introduce myself because many of you may not know me. I graduated from here in 1981, electrical. And after that, I did Masters and PhD from IIT Delhi. And after that, I taught for 23 years at IIT Kharagpur. And then I moved to IISER Kolkata. Presently, I am teaching physics. The basic thing that I am expected to discuss relates to repositioning of the institution from a teaching institution to a teaching plus research institution. Now, this is a very difficult thing. Those of you who are not in academia may think that what is the difficulty? Ask your faculty members to do research. No, it doesn't work. Somebody who has taught and only taught for say 20 years, suddenly if he is asked to do research, he simply cannot. Research is a different kind of mindset, an ongoing process, and unless you are there in that process, you cannot suddenly start it at 45 years of age or 50 years of age. Therefore, it is necessary in order to repositioning to figure out who are among the faculty in a position to start research and then recruit new manpower to do the research. Now, what are the impediments in starting the research? You have been, all of you have been in this institution, you know that our departments were basically the faculty offices plus the teaching laboratories. Were there any research laboratory there? No. So you have to create research space, research laboratory. You need to have research equipment for that. And most importantly, something that was mentioned in yesterday's panel discussion, that if a faculty member has 12 to 15 hours of teaching, plus he or she is expected to do research, is simply not possible. Therefore, there has to be some kind of an internal mechanism by which those who excel in teaching are evaluated for teaching, are awarded for their teaching, and at the same time, those who excel in research are evaluated for their research and are awarded for their research excellence. And since those who are not engaging in research, they are mainly expected to excel in teaching, therefore they should carry relatively more teaching load, thus reducing the teaching load on those who intend to excel in research, and they have to be evaluated accordingly. So what my suggestion would be for an institution like this is an administrative change. The way everything used to take place, now there has to be a change in the way things are done, in the way promotions are considered, in the way loads are distributed. All these must change in order for a vision that 10 years from now we should get there. Now 10 years from now we should get there. If we have that vision, there has to be a path. And that path is very important. Without following the right path, it is not possible to get there. Now, this institution has faced this challenge. And it is not the only institution which has faced this challenge. Presently, IIT Roorkee, it was also a teaching-only engineering institution. It had to change over to an IIT. BHU, it was a teaching-only institution. It had to change over to an IIT. So there have been, Dhanbad, there have been institutions and they all face this challenge. Some of them have succeeded and some of them have not. And we need to learn from those experiences, where and why some institutions succeeded, why and why some institutions did not. And moreover, most importantly, it is necessary that we build a research space and we get research equipment. Without that, research is only daydream. That requires money. So unless money comes, it really, getting a repositioning of a teaching institution into a research institution will not really take place unless we build the research infrastructure. And as I said, that requires money. Now, this is one major impediment. As I understand, the amount of money that was promised when the changeover happened, that money did not come. Most of it did not come. As a result, the institution is facing an uphill task. And we, the alumni, must pitch in whatever way we can in bridging that gap. But most importantly, the new education policy promises 6% of the budget to be given to this. But problem is that this was there in 1968 education policy that also promised 6% of the GDP. 1986 education policy that also promised 6% of GDP, and then 2000 education policy that also promised 6% of the GDP, and yet the amount of expenditure, country's expenditure on education has never exceeded 3%. So, therefore, that problem might linger. Even though there are promises that might linger, and then we have to do something as alumni. We need to pitch in, we need to support as much as possible, and it is true that many of us have succeeded in our careers, and so it is possible for us to help the institution in this hour of need. With that, I'll just end. Thank you.
Thank you, Soumitra. We take down your very, very relevant points, and such focused points was important for us. Now, actually, Professor Ajay Rai, is he here? He told me that he will be here, and he has also a...
Criticize anybody. What is the fun of standing here if I do not call a spade a spade? I initially thought I'll speak in Bengali, but I have contact of this. I'll speak for a few minutes. Kindly permit me. I have contact in the college. Very often they come to gossip and adda in mechanical department and to take classes in civil engineering. I am a graduate in mechanical engineering. But anyway, as it may. So I know the situation in the college. There are 50% of the students in this college for last 2-3 years who comes from Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. So, though I thought I will be speaking in Bengali, but I have to switch to English. I propose our next director as Professor who just gave you a lecture. He appeared for interview in the last board meeting for selection, but he was laughed out of the board. You will never be selected by us, you know that. Anyway, I wish for the improvement of our college that such people who had the ideas and the know-how are selected instead of a person who doesn't listen to the alumni, whose first job was throw out the alumni. Who is this GAABESU? Throw it off. You see, if you have to take steps to do something, you must know where the shoe pinches. So I rest assured, my president, that I will never use any unparliamentary language, but I will at least permit me to explain where the shoe pinches. Before our alumni meet on the first, when the director joined this organization, before that, I rang him twice. I was the president of GAABESU at that time. I requested him, you are wonderful, you are joining our institution. I welcome you. We did it twice before he joined. Then he said, no, I have got some research paper to clear. There will be some delay in joining and all that. I said, welcome, fair enough. Then we met him and all this. But it appears from my handling of this, from being present in this situation, that he is not interested in listening to us. He asked for funds from us, from GAABESU, for using the Alumni Institute. But he did not ask funds from the political parties whom he gave the permission to use this institute. I have to talk about myself. Please excuse me, which is very bad in civility, but to make things clear, I have to understand few things. I have to make things. So, 12 of us, including my friend from Canada, Amitabh, and Partho, my friend from USA, Partho, we went and invited the director that please join our alumni meet. On the day of the alumni meet, when I rang him, he was in his quarters. He said, "You never invited us. Why should I go?" And fortunately for me, I put my mobile on loud mode. So my president and others at that time, they heard all these things. This is not appreciated. This is not appreciated. Lying is not appreciated in civil society. Now, Professor Banerjee discussed certain things regarding the improvement of our college. Well, fine. But who will listen? You see, you cannot talk to the ministers, you cannot talk to the individual teachers, you cannot. GAABESU has brilliant ideas, but they has to be conveyed to the director. The director must be listened. The director has not come today. He is on leave today. Why? He doesn't want to face the music. He doesn't want to sit here. That is the plain truth. He is on leave today. And he was on leave on the last time also. I don't know. That is the one of the, this place is one of the best place. Don't worry, ma. This is to be discussed. You cannot keep truth out and you think all problems will be solved. No problem will be solved. GAABESU will not be able to do a pinch of improvements in this college. Since you can do things through the medium of the director only. If he is not willing to listen to you, then whom do you talk to? So, this is the situation, and now I have talked enough. I have not talked enough. I could have talked for half an hour, but my president is very strongly looking at me. So, thank you. So, I am stopping at this point. Now, I come to a personal thing for which from next year onwards, I will not join this August meeting. I'll come to that. Now, a few personal things. For the last so many years, I paid 12,000 rupees for this alumni, for GAABESU as a donation each. This, I am 83 years old. I paid 1,100 rupees as joining fee. I said, I don't want to take senior citizen advantage. One, I am talking about myself, very sorry. Then, so I know what is happening about this college, but when our GAABESU decided some people will meet the chairman of the board, I don't know, I was not selected. I thought I am the most appropriate man to talk about, to talk to the chairman of the board. But I was not selected. So this is, every year I take 4 lakhs of rupees, 3 lakhs of rupees. This year I have collected 2 lakhs of rupees. Please, I am sorry. This is a very good way of expressing myself. But anyway, this was done. This is last. I am not going to do it anymore. GAABESU do not accept that I am one of the member of GAABESU. And I am competent to talk to the chairman of the board. Anyway, so this is as it stands. I am sorry, I have expressed certain truth. I wish Professor Dr. Banerjee is selected. I again saying this, very appropriate person. He knows ins and out of this college, and he is a professor who has been experienced all over the world, and he runs various individual organizations for development of science. I am deeply involved with him. I wish a person, he or a similar person is selected for the directorship of this organization instead of a blind person or non-listening person who will know, he cannot improve our college. Why? He doesn't know what is the problem. He is a clerk interested in his salary, and he stayed 6 months in our guest house for improving the quality of his quarter. Anyway, with these things, I have got no faith in having any dialogue with him, since that will be useless. You cannot talk to a stone who said, my ears are stopped. I know what I have to do. I am not going to listen to GAABESU. So, I have used certain strong language. I ask from the secretary and from the president and from our Shama, our organizer, forgiveness if I have hurt their feelings. But I thought everybody is talking very softly. But you see, Bangla একটা শব্দ আছে, লাতির ঢেকি চড়ে ওঠে না. You have to behave appropriately. Now, Mr. President, my president never permits that I see the director. She is afraid that I will be talking rough. But what do? You have to talk rough to a man who doesn't listen. Anyway, thank you very much for kindly permitting me to talk and permitting this forum to express my mind, which I believe I have spoken the truth. Thank you.
Achyuta, I am a bit shocked. Actually, we cannot think of any alumni meet, whether here or somewhere else, without Achyuta. You will not come in the next alumni day. We just cannot accept it. You will have to come. You will have to come. And another thing, this time you have given me the responsibility as the convener. And now, actually, when this is being organized when I am the convener, you are saying that actually from this experience you will not come for the next. This is not acceptable to us anyway. But you see, actually, I told you right in the beginning, actually, there maybe it is not that everything is fine, but we have to accept the situation, what it is. And definitely, I am not pessimistic. We'll have to change the situation. How we can make a change? That is our intention. We must chalk out that. You see, actually, already Achyuta, actually, he openly mentions like this. You see, there has been a notice for inviting applications for the new director. Hopefully, we will have a director of our beloved institution who will take our institution forward, and definitely for which one of us has a role, and that should be looked into. You see, and now, Pratik, are you here? Pratik? Yeah, Pratik, you please come. Pratik, yes, please come. You see, Pratik is intimately associated with GAABESU. He is the executive committee in the GAABESU, the working president. He was secretary GAABESU, and he is one of the faculty members in mining department. And he knows the position here, and also in the GAABESU, since inception, since he is involved with GAABESU, we would like to know from Pratik and some others from the institute about the situation and what we can do for this. Pratik, please.
Well, as you already mentioned that I've been intimately connected with GAABESU for long. But today, probably, he invited me to speak as one of the faculty members. I've been working here from 1995. I have gone through, I was student, passed in 1990 in mining engineering. So that time it was VE College. When I joined institution as a lecturer, it was DU. Then I saw the transformation to GAABESU and finally to IIST. So I've gone through the entire journey. I'm not sure whether this is the right platform to, express everything what is going wrong in the institute or where we can improve upon. So I'll just share a few things. I was eagerly, listening to the speech by Shomitoda. He pointed out a few things, some of the problems he highlighted that happens when you convert a primarily teaching institute to a research institute. Now, repositioning of IIST, that's pretty important, but you have to clearly keep it in mind, what is the intended reposition? Because in the process, what happened during our journey since the formation of IIST 2014, we completely, got oblivious of our objective, because when the Ananda Krishnan committee introduced the concept of IIST, they had something in mind. And that was basically repositioning of some institutes, not normal engineering colleges, not an IIT, something else. So that repositioning was clearly stated in the report of Ananda Krishnan committee. But in the process, not only we, as the faculty members or the internal part of the organization, but at the same time the government of India, they also lost the complete track. So they have clubbed us along with an NIT council. So every notice I get, everything I get, it's applicable for all the NITs and IIST Shivpur. So everything is already, clubbed with the NIT system. For example, IISC is there. IISC Bangalore. So that has been able to reposition itself long back. It's not IIT. Everybody knows what IISC stands for, what they do. But in our case, from administrative system to promotion system, for everything we are clubbed with the NIT. There is no exception. Our board of governors, how they'll function, our statute, how it will work, everything is related to that only. Now, talking about repositioning, definitely, as I said, it has to be in line with what Ananda Krishnan committee said. Once again, it's time to recalibrate our objectives and align us with the what was stated in Ananda Krishnan committee. That is something is very much required. I'll be brief, but I'll just put some comments why research is not successful as it happens as of now. I'll say that research is not successful. That's not true. Research is partially successful. Partially, why I'm saying that we have our labs. We have our labs. Not only have our teaching labs, we have our research labs also. We had some high-end analytical facilities, sophisticated instruments lab, but no manpower was given. Maintenance was not there. I know that crores and crores of high-end equipments are just lying idle because it's not being used, because nobody's there to take care of it. It's basically an administrative failure. It's not that it was the lack of the equipment that we had. We had these things. What we are lacking here primarily is we do not have a system in place to incentivize the researchers. For example, probably I can speak. I can see some of the illustrated colleagues like Shubhashish, Nitaida and Shubroto, I can see them. They are pretty good researchers. They have already established themselves in the research field. So probably I also somehow belong to that, because as of now, I have implemented not less than 8 sponsored research projects. I have all the research projects that nationally, internationally funded. I have implemented undertaken not less than 15 consultancy projects. So probably I know something what is right and what is wrong in the institute. So thing is, why shall I do research? If you look into the complete profile of our faculty members, you'll see that only a few are getting involved, only few, and out of their own volition. There is no system in place, as I said, to provide proper impetus to the research. For example, if I look into my research projects, other projects, probably I have brought in few crores of overhead fund, because the project is given, there is something called the institutional overhead. I have brought in more than a few crores of institutional overhead fund, but I have got zero out of it. No, nothing. I have not got anything out of it. Normally, if you look into the IIT system, there is something called a professional development fund. The money that you bring as overhead, a certain percentage goes for the professional development of the faculty. It's on the faculty's account. I can use it for my own, source, for purchasing some equipment, doing my, supporting some of my research fellows, and going abroad, meeting anyone. Okay, but that fund is not there. We have been talking about it for the last 10 years. As of now, that thing is not there. Then second issue that we are facing that Shomituda rightly pointed out, those who are involved in teaching, let them be involved in teaching. Let them take little more extra, load of teaching. But the teaching load here is same for everyone, irrespective of someone is involved in research or not. Doesn't really matter. Because nobody cares. Nobody cares because teaching load will be there. When you come to the load distribution departments, everybody will be equally divided. Nobody really sees that this person has 3 current research projects going on, but even then he has to carry out the same amount of, he has to share the same amount of teaching burden. Another vexing issue here is our mindless bureaucracy in the institution, which we should take care of. Our purchase rules. Even for purchasing 50,000 cost of, equipment, it's a real pain in the bad place. I'm telling you, I'm sure everyone inside the institute will agree that how painful is the process. And these things have got, deteriorated in the recent years. They are not so bad earlier. But recent years, due to, introduction of different things, this GFR rules and other things, whatever government of India proposes, we make it even more stringent. That something is happening. These are the changes which are really required. And finally, I'll say that in terms of a promotion from assistant professor, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, in associate professor and professor, I'm fortunate to have been promoted long back to professor. But if I look into the others, you see, you'll be surprised to know that initially we are just collaborating with the NIT system, that whatever NIT's governance council has said that these are the requirements for promotion, if you meet it, then you are eligible. We have not made it very stringent. For example, now, there is previously there used to be some kind of criteria related to your excellence in research. For example, in the professor post, it used to be said that you need to have at least 2 PhDs supervised. You need to have at least 3 high-value research projects, at least 3 publications or 4 publications in the ACI journals. Those things were clearly mentioned. But later on, what happened? NIT Council themselves made a point-based system. Point-based system means somebody getting 80 points is eligible to get a professorship. And those 80 points, out of the 80 points, without doing anything in academics, somebody can score 60 points. Little bit of academics, you get 80. Definitely it's not forum to name anyone, but I'm telling you that somebody, I know, he got 80.5 points. He was eligible for the interview of professor, he was selected, and he got a deanship also. With no PhD supervision, no research supervision, no sponsor, which is nothing. So if you don't change these things, the change has to come from within. The change has to come from us. So I don't think the alumni has got any role in it. Alumni can support us. Alumni will not come. We have to reach out to the alumni with the specific proposals that we have. So unless we, address these issues, the repositioning of IIST will not be possible. Thank you.